You know, he's an incredibly talented person. Obviously, you knew that. When I did a bit more research on him, I hadn't realised he'd done so many collaborations with so many different kinds of artists.
I think he's, I mean, it's, you know, like a number of the people I've picked, I think he's one of those go-to performers because he is, whilst it's easy to pigeonhole and bracket him into things, he's actually clearly attractive to so many people. I mean, you know, from going from Kylie to do the soundtracks he's done, people are attracted. I mean, he's a very physically significant individual, and I think that clearly goes through his personality. From the Boys Next Door in the very early days in Australia to coming here, you know, his life as a significant heroin addict early days in London to now being someone who is a kind of go-to performer. It's quite incredible, his journey, and yet his music's consistently of a level which is just so high.
Yeah, exactly. Who else could collaborate with Kylie and Marianne Faithfull?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, this is the man who writes the most intriguing love songs, and yet at the same time, you know, so his ballads, his love songs going through to just outright rock and roll and grunge. He's just covered things. You know, the probably nearest thing you get to, I guess, is the Rick Rubin Cash series of albums that came out.
Yeah, and also to be able to write screenplays and soundtracks of films.
Absolutely. You know, if you've got it, flaunt it, and I think he does.
And here's a complete, so thank you, Mr. Cave. Here's a complete change of pace, style, and impression for your penultimate choice, which is brilliant, as they all are. But tell us a bit about number 9.
Well, I guess, you know, my choice at number 9, I placed it there because there was a journey of my life that went through, but I've opted for the Ronettes. Although to be honest, I could have picked a number of late 50s, 60s girls bands, Supremes, Shirelles. Just that whole Spectre-esque wall of sound just blows me away. It never fails to lift me. Production is just exceptional, you know, for a man who clearly had so many challenges. His ear to what sound was, with that purity and collection of a female band, just vocally, is exceptional. And I think the Ronettes tip it for me usually. They just do something that, you know, it just makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Oh, when I listened to it, when I listened to it, I just wanted to stand up and click my fingers. They're just, you can't help but smile and feel good. And I think, you know, that's pretty much what Spectre did, and the Ronettes took it to the next level. I thought the best quote I found from Spectre, who, as you said, had many challenges, he described the wall of sound as the studio as an instrument.
Yeah, absolutely. And interesting, I guess that's really what it was, because, you know, so many of the bands he worked with were just vocalists. So he had to create his own orchestra through that production. You know, there were some amazingly talented musicians who worked with him, but the fact that he actually used that sound desk and actually that studio to do something further, and he pushed it every time.
Well, again, another great influencer. You know, people as far and wide as Springsteen say that he wouldn't have been able to do Born to Run if it hadn't been for Phil Spector, the Ronettes, and the Wall of Sound.
I think so many other bands would probably make similar comments, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Just the opportunities it created.
So, ready to stand up, click your fingers, move your feet, hit the Ronettes, be my baby.